welcome to another episode of Galaxy Gardens. My name is Chrissy, and today we're going to be making some preserved lemons. All we're going to be using is lemons and some sea salt, and that's it. So let's go do it. We have our lemons here. They were on sale, I believe it was like 3 for $1. So I got 6 of them. We're gonna see how many we can fit into a quart jar. And all we're gonna be doing with these is washing them. It's recommended to scrub them. You can scrub them with a brush or scrub them with some salt and make sure they're clean. And then we'll move on to the next step. Now, I don't know if you've ever learned this before. To me, I feel like this is common knowledge, but I'm also Italian, so Italians love lemons. But if you're ever at the store and you want to make sure you're picking out a good lemon, all you have to do is take it, you give it a once over, and then you're gonna give it a sniff. And if it smells like a lemon, you're good to go. You can take it home. And these lemons, I scrubbed them down with some kosher salt. So that scent kind of came up because I used an abrasive substance on the outside, and you know, some of those oils got released and we can smell them. They smell pretty good. Something I have here that we're gonna be using today is kosher sea salt from the brand Baleen. And I didn't choose this for the brand. This was literally the only sea salt they had in the store. So that's what we're gonna be using. There's other recipes for this that use different kinds of ingredients like bay leaves, maybe add some sugar in there, peppercorns, among other things. I've never made it before, so we're just gonna stick to basics, just some lemons and salt. We have everything set up here, so let's just get to it. I got a couple jars. With these lemons, I feel like I'll fill up at least one. I'm definitely not gonna fill up 2, so I got a little jar just in case. And all we're gonna do is take your lemon. I'm gonna take that little top part off. And we're gonna do this the fancy way. It's the way I've seen online. You're gonna cut through the long way, almost all the way to the bottom, but not to the bottom. And you're gonna do it again. Just flip it 90 degrees, or spin it rather. And then you get all your sections here. So pretty straightforward. You have your lemon, you have your sea salt. You don't want to use table salt or kosher salt for this. You want to use only sea salt because other stuff has chemicals in it. Of course, I just spilled it all. It's okay, let me just pick that right up. Put it in there. As easy as it gets. Just taking some salt. I'm gonna put it in the lemon. And I don't always know the background of the people who watch our videos. But if you're one of those people who takes lemons and puts them on a plate with a little bit of salt and puts them in the corner, you're cool by me. Maybe I'll actually save one of those for that. If you want more details on what that's about, go on your friendly search engine and do it. So there you go. You got it filled with some salt. And go ahead, just stick it in your jar. And you don't even have to keep these quarters connected. You can just take your lemon, cut it in half, and cut it in half again. Am I worried about the seeds and anything leaching out of those? Nope. But I'm gonna forget that they're in there. So what I'm gonna do on those ones that I'm quartering is gonna take the seeds out. You you can leave the seeds in. They're not gonna kill you. Okay, got a little bit of those. A little bit more salt on here. Bada boom. There you go. Pretty easy. If you've never seen it before, lemons are really good when you put a little salt in them, because the salt, oh goodness, get in there. Salt helps kind of change them from tasting sour to tasting sweet. So I'm one of those people, I've worked in food service, so just putting that out there first and foremost. I'm not scared to eat anything that's been handled in the kitchen. I'm sure I've ingested worse. But you know, I'll go to the restaurant, I'll just eat the lemon that's in my water. Just put a little salt on it. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, this stem doesn't want to come out. There you go. And some people, what they like to do is zest, like partially zest the lemons and mix the zest up with the salt. I don't think you need to do that. That's a lot more work. And then, you know, at the end of this process, then you have less of that like edible rind. So what's gonna happen with these is that we're gonna put these in the jar, right? We're gonna seal the jar up, and we're actually gonna leave it on the counter for like 4 days. And in those 4 days, a lot of juices are gonna come out of these. I've had it recommended, don't go more or less than 4 days, but a lot of juice is gonna come out. Look at that, isn't that cool? A lot of juice is gonna come out, and it's gonna fill up the jar. And what you're gonna have, so you're pretty much making like lemon pickles, right? You're preserving them. I'm not sure if they actually ferment too much in that time. There's a lot of salt, and it's obviously very high acidity. I think what I'm gonna do, I think I'll do 3. I think I'll do 3 in a jar. We'll do that. Anyways, so the jar's gonna fill up with that liquid, that nice lemony, salty liquid. And then after those 4 days where it's on your counters, you know, somewhere cool, not like in the sunlight, but you also don't have to stick it in your cabinet. You're gonna take it and you're gonna throw that jar, just toss it in the back of your fridge. And you're gonna forget about it for a month. And then some people like to do it for at least like 3 weeks. Some people like to put it back there for a few months. We're gonna go with 30 days. I think that's a safe starting point. But at the end of those 30 days, you're gonna have your preserved lemons. And preserved lemons you can use in a lot of different recipes. And you're just gonna take them out, take as much of the lemon that you want. And the peels are gonna get like translucent almost. And you'll be able to eat them. You could eat them now, but they're gonna be bitter, really bitter. But I just think it's gonna be a really cool process. So I wanna see what happens. And we have some extra lemon juice in the fridge. So obviously as this process goes on, you're gonna wanna push your lemons down to keep them under the liquid so they don't go bad. But you know, after a few days, if you need a little bit more, just grab some lemon juice, put it in there. I wouldn't put any fresh lemons in there, but that's just me. Look at that, oh, such a good lemon. All right, I'm covered in salt. These are pretty good. You can use them in recipes. There's specific recipes that you can use these in. I actually saw somebody on Instagram. Get in there. Oh God. So I saw someone on Instagram. They took the rind of the lemon after it was preserved for a month and chopped it up. They made some sourdough with it. I was like, that's really cool. Also, weird timing. I had just bought these lemons like a few days before. I think this was like 2 days ago I saw this. And I was like, wow, that's really weird timing. Like, I just got these lemons. And now you're sharing this like awesome sourdough recipe. Oh my goodness. That's super cool. So when these are ready to go, I really want to try that and get their recipe. They're really cool. God. I'll put their in the description if you want to check them out. They don't sponsor us, by the way. I just think that their account's really cool. And I like sourdough. I like sourdough recipes, so I figure, you know, maybe you like sourdough recipes too. But these are just about done. I'm gonna use all this little extra salt. So, right, you have your preserved lemons, you can use those, but you can also use the salt that comes out. So there's gonna be a lot of like salty liquid in here. You can use that as flavoring. You can add that fish, chicken, whatever. Just get a little lemony, salty flavor in whenever you need. And it's not often I see lemons as cheap as they are, especially these days. But I don't need to tell you about grocery prices. Also, if you're mad at farmers for their grocery prices, it is not their fault. It is the fault of the grocery stores. And that is all I'm gonna say about that. But anyways, it's just nice to see lemons on sale. I'm not 100% sure when they're in season. I'm pretty sure winter is when they're in season because lemons take like forever to ripen. And if you've been following along with our Instagram, you know, we just harvested our Eureka lemon. It started growing like 9 months ago and then it was like finally ready to go. So they take forever, which I feel like they should even be more expensive than they are, but hey, 3 for $1, I'm not gonna complain. All right, so we have our 2 jars. Number 1, number 2. If I had probably like 2 more lemons, I could have probably cut them into wedges and fit them around. That's fine. I got no problem with these. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a little bit more salt in here. I'm just gonna do whatever feels right. Am I worried about them being too salty? No. When I wanna use these, I'm gonna wash them off. And the point is that they're gonna be a little bit salty. Anyways. All right, there you go. Let me wash my hands. I'll put some lids on these and we'll come back. These jars are all set. This is what they look like day 1, hour 1. I'll be posting some updates about how these do over on our Instagram at the Galaxy Gardens and our Facebook. If you haven't followed us on Facebook, go check out our link tree in the description. Go follow us there. We have a Facebook page and discussion group, which I love to see everyone's gardens on. But these are gonna seep out a lot of liquid very fast. And in a month, I'm gonna start using them in recipes. So I'll do a follow-up video in a month when they're ready to go. But in the meanwhile, if you wanna make some preserved lemons, this is the process and it's very, very easy. If you can get some lemons and you can get some sea salt, you're good to go. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you coming along with me while we make preserved lemons. This is the first time I'm making this recipe, but I've done quite a bit of information gathering and have referred to other people who have made it before I made it. This is the way to do it, really easy, and I'm excited for how it's gonna come out. For our next video, we'll be doing some seed starting. If you remember from last year, we actually had seeds going as early as like mid-January. As of today, it is March 2nd. So if we were just to compare from last year, it would seem like we're starting really late. But in fact, every year we're just modifying and making our kind of garden plan different and adjusted to where we're living. We're going into our 3rd summer on this property, And we moved originally in the summer to this property. So really one full summer, so this will be our second full summer, I think. I don't remember when we moved here. But last year when we started everything, in mid-January, I actually spaced everything out so I wouldn't get as overwhelmed with seed starting. This year, we're just gonna do it all together. That's fine. There's some things that we're not growing and other things we are that is in, the appropriate timeline. And even last year, I felt like we started our greens and our tomatoes and peppers and stuff like that, maybe like a couple weeks too early. So this is a couple of weeks later from when we originally did our, peppers and stuff last year. And I think that's gonna be good because I like to get everything out and planted maybe around like the beginning to middle of May. But sometimes we get random cold days, and with this year we didn't really get any snow until recently, and we're due for more snowstorms over the next week, so I have no idea how long it's going to take for all that to melt. So we're going to be doing some seed starting this weekend. I'm going to share the video with you. If you can't wait, if you like absolutely can't wait, you're like, I don't know what to do, or I do know what to do but I want to see what you do, you can actually check out our videos from last year. We have a video about Petri dish seed germination, how that came out. It's great. We're doing it again this year. You can see the whole progression of how we timed out all of our plants, when we put them in the ground, what did they look like. We get videos on all of that. So go check out our older videos. They're very informational. This time around, we'll just be kind of throwing it all together, and I'll just be having a seed starting party by myself this weekend, so it's gonna be fun. I'll see you in our next video, and I hope you are well.